So in anticipation, me trying to get more into games, like especially like Cyberpunk, like I discovered recently that having the best graphics card is really important.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm pretty new in this graphic card thing.
Same here, man.
So what do you know about graphic cards, bro?
I found that a lot of people like there's this optimal play where everyone's like okay with playing, like Nabil and all, like some of our
Right.
friends
Yeah.
who like to play in 180p and they're okay playing in a resolution that is not like the greatest resolution of all time.
Okay. Yeah.
So in order to play in that 380 level up there, your graphics card needs to
4K
be
and all
the
that.
highest, the 4K level, especially for games like, for example, the next gen games like Cyberpunk and all this stuff. You can these if you get this specific high level graphics card, 380, you can actually play in 4K resolution, and like crystal clear real life movement kind of stuff. I don't know. Does resolution matter to you when you're playing like games, for
4K,
example?
yeah. I want to get the best graphics, no doubts, when I play a game. just to see what's the capability of the machine.
Right. But I
think
mean,
4K,
like,
I think the movement and everything has to be quite good, right?
I think with this kind of thing, unless you're like editing or something like that, or you're doing like heavy, vision works and things of that nature, I think that's when this whole 4K thing comes into play.
Mhm.
But I think like the 370 graphics card with the with a working CPU system, for example, the Ryzen 7, I think this is something that is okay for gaming, you know. But I've seen some really cool stuff, like in terms of monitors and stuff. If you want like higher resolutions and all this stuff, the performance is just really like they've really gone the next level now with all this
All these crazy things.
rig building and, and all that stuff.
I have a feeling we are going to be starting that soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that journey. I'm looking forward to like ramping the performance up. That's gonna be an interesting journey. But I'm still a PlayStation guy at heart.
You know what I say? You're not a real man until you start building your own gaming machine.
Is it?
Yeah,
Thought you're not a real man until you start building your own car.
It's the new age, bro.
I mean, I'm still a console guy at heart. So
Same.
Yeah.
Always been
But
a
like
Sony
the
fanboy.
long term goal is to build a rig eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually,
I'm still a Sony fanboy,
Yeah, man, that's gonna be cool. Speaking of performances, you know who's been really performing lately?
No, who?
Harry Kane and Son Heung-Min.
Oh man,
Like
those
they've
two
been
are on
performing.
fire, bro.
They're really on fire. Like it's been something really impressive to watch. How they work as a team. You would not traditionally put them as like the duo, like the golden standard for duos in football.
I mean, at one point it looks like Kane is doing all the heavy lifting, while Son in and out goes into form. But
Yeah.
now they really like look consistent, lah. They
Yeah.
really look like a partnership
Right.
these few years.
And Kane's like on point now to being like one of the best assisting strikers
Yeah.
in Premier League history as well,
Yeah.
with everything.
Assisting and scoring.
Actually, if you look at if you can pull up that stat that says how they do well together compared to other partnerships that we've seen. Maybe most of these other guys aren't like strikers per se, but you can see totally you got Kane on the top, with both of them, Kane and Son at the top with 102 goals
Yep.
combined.
So Kane with 67 and Son with 35.
Yeah.
But then Son, all of the goals are very spectacular goals.
Yeah.
And important goals as well.
He scored some important goals,
Yeah,
especially
very
when
important
Kane's
goals.
not. But then remember this stat is when they're together.
Yeah,
So that's how potent they are.
Yeah.
And
And Kane has been injured for quite a while this past 2 seasons, right?
exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
And you can
so-
see how if you compare it to some of the others, you got your Salah Mane, we know that that's
Yeah,
a prolific partnership.
Yeah.
Aguero Sterling, very underrated partnership, but
Yeah,
Aguero's a 30 goal a season striker. I mean, we know that. You got your
Yeah,
Henry
Sterling is
period.
the winger there, but he scored
Right.
goals as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you can see like Suarez and Gerrard. Who can forget that partnership, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not the traditional striker partnership.
I
but-
think a midfield and a striker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see like Kane and Son, these two guys have combined now, and they're averaging like the highest goal average per 90 minutes. So per match, they're averaging about 1.3 goals a game,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, I don't know how you feel about their performance in that
especially with
sense.
Son, you know, every time like if Kane is injured and Son has to step up, he really does step up. Like it looks like as though they don't miss Kane. But then
Yeah.
when they are together, that's a whole new level.
Yeah, the goals especially have been
Yeah.
important as Spurs do their whole um, title challenge at this moment. It's been very impressive to watch Spurs. They're going to have a test this week with Chelsea, the game that's coming up. But I thought this would be an interesting segue for us today to talk about the 5 attacking duos that have impressed us in the 2000s.
In the thousands, recent times, I guess.
Yeah, so like these are the 5 duos. So I picked striker combinations.
Yep.
Because I think that's like the traditional 4-4-2.
Yeah, traditional 4-4-2 striking duos, I guess.
4-4-2, mate. Like it's 4-4-2. You get that?
Safe to say, it's a dying art.
Oh man.
Like attacking duos itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very rare to find
It's
nowadays.
very rare nowadays.
I think Son and Kane is one example. I think another example in the Premier League would be Shea Adams and Danny Ings, maybe. They're a duo in a sense.
Quite a duo. Not even Chelsea has a duo. Maybe sometimes.
Sometime in the future,
If Kai
if
Havertz is not.
Havertz and Werner pick up.
But I think right now it's either Werner with Giroud or Werner and Tim Abraham. But other than that, I don't think they're a traditional 4-4-2 type of team.
Yeah. I don't think they're traditional 4-4-2. I think 4-2-2.
United, definitely not. They're playing a 3 up front.
What is there to say about that? Yeah.
Arsenal, no.
Yeah.
Man City, they have the resource to do it, but they don't do it. So
Are you kidding me? Guardiola playing up with 2 strikers?
yeah.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. You crazy, Dazlan. Like, I think.
Not even Leicester, I think.
Yeah, not even Leicester.
Leicester could, but no.
No,
don't,
man,
no.
they can't because Vardy's up front.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
Harvey Barnes is sort of that guy they're trying to mold maybe into that, but
Yeah.
I don't see it yet with Leicester.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet.
So striking duos that impressed us and impressed me and you since the 2000s, and we
Yeah.
curated this list. And you can come up with your own list and your own criteria. It's all very subjective, like what we think is good and all.
This is like for us, it doesn't have to be consistent. They could be good in one season,
Yeah.
and maybe the season after they will not do. But we chose them based on the form of one season, right?
Right.
One particular season.
They had an outstanding season at one point,
Yeah.
and that's what made us pick them out.
We forget about their form after that season we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is specifically for that season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Because there are a few on this list where after that season, the partnership might not be there anymore, or they drop off form. So that's just a disclaimer to you, just for your information.
Before we move on to the first one, I just want to make some honorable mentions for 2 strike partnerships that didn't make it for this list.
Okay,
And one was Graffiti and
Zeko, right?
Zeko,
They won with
Wolfsburg
in a very competitive German league
Bundesliga at that time. Yeah.
Actually, in the 2000 itself, just quick info. Yeah. The 2000s in Bundesliga was pretty competitive.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of teams won the league.
Bayern was not like
At one
the
point-
all-conquering.
At one point, Bayern was only a Europa League team,
Yeah.
for a few years.
Yeah.
I mean, but just generally, I mean, they in that decade itself, they have like 5 German champions or something.
Yeah.
It's like I think Stuttgart, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Wolfsburg.
Yes.
Stuttgart is the most.
Stuttgart was quite shocking.
Yeah.
The Wolfsburg one was really special because they dominated.
Werder Bremen, let's not forget
Yeah,
Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen was another one, yeah. But I think Graffiti and Zeko deserve a slight mention, although they're not top 5. And the other one,
Graffiti itself is pretty
Yeah.
underrated, right?
Yeah.
Even for Brazil.
Graffiti never really had a career. I mean, not really like a all-conquering career after that either.
I mean, like in the German league, it's very hard for you to be scoring like 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
It's almost somewhat of a Premier League of that time.
Yes.
So, okay.
So many teams fighting, at the time.
So,
Another one that didn't make this list, but I just want to give a special shout out to is Real Madrid and Real Madrid's Ronaldo and Benzema
I
strike
get it.
partnership.
I mean,
they were kind of overshadowed by.
It is a partnership, yeah.
Yeah, they were those two specifically.
Yeah.
Even though Ronaldo wasn't traditionally a striker.
Yeah. I think Mourinho really made him a striker.
Yeah, and those two like kind of combined.
Yeah.
A lot throughout their career.
Yeah.
And there's a case to be made, but because they were overshadowed a lot by the Barcelona.
Yeah, the Barcelona
pairings,
dominance of the decade.
Yeah, that's why they didn't make it onto this list. And
Yep.
but I do think they deserve a special mention,
I mean,
and Ronaldo is special.
Yeah. I mean, I remember in the Copa del Rey itself, it was a 4-4-2
Yes,
with Ronaldo as a striker.
exactly.
Everyone was shocked. I was shocked myself, and ended up Ronaldo scoring the winning goal
Yep.
that stopped Barcelona from getting the treble.
Yeah, definitely.
So
That's the one the very infamous one that they won
Yeah.
with Pep in charge, right?
Yeah.
And
They stopped Pep from winning another treble.
yeah.
Ronaldo himself.
Yeah,
stopped
I
him.
really think the potential of those two was really unlocked when Bale first came onto the scene.
Yeah.
And you had the Bale, Ronaldo, Benzema trio up front.
Yeah.
That's when Madrid was really kicking with the goals, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, even then, MSN was there. We're talking about MSN in a bit.
Yes.
But let's move on to number 5 on the list. And number 5 on the list, who did we pick?
So it's Thierry Henry and Dennis Burkham. Specifically, we're going to be picking them for the Invincible season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2003-2004 season.
Yep.
Where obviously they went undefeated the whole season.
Yep.
So that season itself, Thierry Henry was dominating everyone.
We talk about Thierry Henry a lot in that season, but
Yeah.
nobody wants to talk about
There's
a
Dennis
guy who
Burkham.
I thought was specifically really impressive. And the guy who's going to be in the Premier League Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
Dennis Burkham.
I mean, he's very good, no doubts about that. But I think he was overshadowed only for one reason. That everyone misunderstood about him is that he doesn't score a lot of goals. But I think in his defense, he's not supposed to be scoring a lot of goals. He's actually a support striker, if you ask me, and an attacking midfielder.
I agree, yeah. I mean,
like, just for the fact that he did not score like your Ronaldo types of goal ratio, I think that's the reason why he's not talked about much compared to other people.
right.
So yeah, okay, continue.
If you're talking about statistics with this guy, Dennis Burkham, I think you have to realize the role that the duo plays.
Yeah.
There's the guy who's going to be the goal scorer,
Yes.
and then there's the guy who's going to support the goal scorer.
Yes. He's a bit weird, his position. He plays in front of an attacking midfielder,
Yep.
but behind a forward.
He plays quite diagonal to the
it's-
forward. It's a little
It's a
bit
weird thing.
lower,
I don't know any other types of support striker that is like him. To be honest, like
that's what his role has always been. I've always argued that he played in an era where there was not a CAM per se. Like
that makes sense.
he would be more of a CAM in today's era. But because he could score goals,
It was still a
he
4-4-2,
recorded
yeah.
94 assists, by the way. 94 assists. If you can see on the screen, we're talking about the guy who is a dominant player when it comes to producing the ball. His hold-up play was excellent.
Yeah.
You know, and I think in terms of strike partnerships, it's what made the Henry Burkham partnership tick in my box.
Let's keep in mind that he was already 30 years old by the time it's 1999. So in the Invincible season, he was already in his almost mid-30s. So it was quite an impressive thing.
You know what it is.
He's a James Milner fan.
James Milner. So I mean, if you think about it, he also presided over Arsene Wenger's most dominant era.
Yeah.
And Arsenal.
Yep.
And we're talking about signings. Bergkamp came before Henry.
Yes.
And was very much
I think in 1995 or 96, something like that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And when he came, there was a lot of fanfare. And you're right, he wasn't really like the key goal scorer for them.
Yeah.
But
even that time, he was with Ian Wright before Henry. And even before Henry, there was Anelka.
right,
They both scored like him supporting.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a support striker. He's definitely that kind of guy.
I think you make a good point. I think if he played today, he would be a ACM.
Yeah, he would be
He would
considered.
be like a Kevin De Bruyne type.
Yeah, I mean, first he's got to get over his fear of flying, lah.
Yes.
And I
yes,
mean,
yes.
like
And also like another fun fact is his last match was a Champions League match. Which is, they could have won it, but
was it the final?
It was a final, bro. He was there. He started the game over Van Persie, I think.
I remember one guy playing really well in that final, but not getting it. But yeah.
Okay, so by the way, move on to his partner.
He's Thierry Henry, and what more is there to say about Thierry Henry that hasn't already been said about Thierry Henry?
Oh my goodness, he was owning everyone in that season, man. He was literally like, everyone was scared to play Arsenal. They actually mean they were scared to play Henry.
Yeah.
Talk about nightmares, bro.
I remember watching Premier League games, and I just thought, here's Thierry Henry, right? And you were taught before that football was a team sport.
Yeah.
But then you watch this one guy beat 4 different guys, and then slot the ball into the furthest right-hand corner. Yeah. Against Liverpool, man, that gave me nightmares.
Carragher wanted to tackle him, and he just took the ball back and then go forward.
Yeah.
And then, he scored the goal like that.
It was really impressive how he would take the ball, run the ball. He's won the Golden Boot like 4 times. He's scored against the most every opposition in the Premier League he's ever faced.
And he's like Arsenal's top goal scorer of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's the most memorable thing about these two guys, Burkham and Henry, is the fact that they won the Invincible season.
Yeah.
That's why we picked the 2003-2004 season.
I mean, the only weakness in that Henry has is he doesn't hit the ball a lot. He takes the corner. He's never there to hit the ball for the corner. He takes the set
I don't know if that is. I don't know if he's actually not good at heading. I think actually.
But he doesn't do a lot of heading.
I mean,
he does not
maybe
do
we don't see it, but I kind of remember Henry. I mean, if you can curl the ball from the edge of the box, you don't need to head the ball, man.
But I remember corner. He takes the corner.
Yeah,
for Arsenal. So
his delivery was good as well.
Okay, I'm not saying it's a negative, but there is a lack of heading from him, lah. But it's okay. He makes up it by scoring everywhere else.
But
he can score from outside of the box. He can score from inside. He can dribble from the halfway line and score. It's just magic, if you ask me.
Yeah, the thing is, people will argue that Henry might have played better with Robert Pires, for example.
I mean, yes, okay. So Arsenal this time, it's not really a 4-4-2. They do play 4-4-2 sometimes, but it's a 4-4-1-1 with Burkham behind.
Burkham behind, right?
And then there was one point that he had Sylvain Wiltord as well. That's a 4-4-2, but I think
Wiltord was more like a backup.
Yeah, Perez is not really a winger now. He's like a traditional winger. Where he's playing from the midfield, the right-hand side of midfield.
Robert Pires,
left-hand side, sorry, left-hand side of midfield.
I just felt that Henry and Burkham complement each other more.
Yeah, definitely.
I loved how they played. I loved how the style of their passing and everything, and how both will take turns to conquer games.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Dennis Burkham can actually score a banger goal. Maybe not from long shots, but he has that touch. You remember that goal against Newcastle?
Yeah, I remember.
He can just touch.
He literally
he has a magical touch.
How he made that ball curl behind the guy.
Yeah.
Just freaking blows
my mind. Not only that,
how
about against Argentina in the in the World Cup 1998.
Yes.
You know, people say he had it easy. That Frank de Boer is the one that did. It takes a lot of vision for you to actually trap the ball to know where the hell that left back is going to cross to you. It takes a lot of skill to do that as well.
It does,
and he does have a vision. A lesser man will not score that.
I think you hit the nail on the head with the vision term. His vision as a striker was deadly. His touch as a striker is deadly.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about touch for strikers. He had touch.
Yep.
Like Dennis Burkham. Very little he can do. What was his nickname? Tinkerman? Or the Iceman?
Yeah,
was it the Iceman? Yeah, you can see it. He's got great touch. Berbatov's got great touch.
Yes.
Zlatan has great touch. These guys are defined by their touch sometimes, you know. And Dennis Burkham was definitely one of those guys, for sure.
Yeah, Burkham, it's a good shout out. We talked about Burkham because, honestly, he would have been a different kind of player in this era.
Right.
It's very safe to say that. I think Henry, if you get this decades, if you have an Henry of now, exactly the same. I feel
like Henry's very much in the mold of Kylian Mbappe or something
like that. It's like you have a Henry right now, which is in Mbappe. But with Burkham, I
yeah.
think it's a whole different system lah. It's like a pre Kaka or something. Something
Big
like that.
shout.
Yeah, yeah.
So then we're gonna move on now to number 4 on our list, and on number 4 on our list, went kind of like left field here.
Yeah, it's from the La Liga, right?
Yeah, from La Liga, from Atletico Madrid,
Yeah.
from the factory of strikers,
Yep.
Forlan and Aguero in the Atletico Madrid, specifically
Yes.
the season,
I mean,
the season where they won the UEFA Cup.
UEFA Cup 2010 with a young De Gea on the goal. I mean, okay, let's just talk about Aguero first. He came in 2007. He came in from Independiente, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was
Argentina.
straight from Argentina at 20 years old. And he came in as a, what is it called? What do you call someone? As a potential, yeah.
Potential, yeah.
As
Like a prospect.
As a prospect, yeah. He came in as a prospect. And then let's take a look at Forlan. Forlan flopped in Man United.
I wouldn't say that he flopped in Man United.
He did not score a lot in Man United. Like,
he scored some pretty
he scored
important
against
goals for
Liverpool.
them.
I mean, let's just compare this when they first came. So, Aguero is a prospect,
Yeah.
and there's something called, what is it called? A prodigy. He was actually a prodigy.
Yeah.
He was starting when he was 16. If I'm not mistaken, he played his first professional football at 2003,
Right.
at like 16 or something. Like that's a pretty good prodigy, right?
He's pretty young, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Diego Forlan, he came in. He did not score much with Man United, but he played enough games to win the league. So okay, then he rebuilt himself up at Villarreal, winning the Golden Boot, European Golden Boot, and then he moved to Atletico Madrid, 2009, I guess.
Yeah, around 2008,
Yeah,
2007.
So that's already like both spectrum. One is a guy that rebuilt himself, and one is a prodigy. So
I think both players kind of overlooked the departure of Fernando Torres at that time.
I think he was a direct replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both the guys came in, and Forlan's kind of had this career where it's gone towards the end. It got better for him.
Yes.
Especially, I remember he won the World Cup Golden Boot in 2006, if I'm not mistaken, or he won.
2010.
2010, yeah, South
2010.
Africa, right?
Yeah, where they went to semi-finals.
The Uruguay semi-finals, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Forlan's always been,
They were favorites, at that time.
yeah, they could have nearly made the finals, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. But Forlan's always been that guy. Like, they basically, if you look at the stats, during their 5 years together at Atletico, Aguero and
Yeah.
Forlan combined to make about 190 goals.
Yeah, it's just crazy in 5 years.
Yeah. In
It's
five
just-
in 5 years, they combined for near 200 goals.
I mean, in
and-
2008, 2009 itself is 56 goals
Yep,
in all competitions.
that's pretty good. That's
I mean-
that's
I mean, Atletico Madrid themselves, they have a pretty good history with strikers. Even after them, they had pretty good with what is it?
Costa,
and all that.
Villa,
Villa.
and Torres, obviously before that.
Yeah.
You know,
And let's look at the. They are perfect in a 4-4-2 system. They are constantly.
they literally played 4-4-2.
Yeah, I mean they are both like almost the same type of player.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a Henry and Burkham type where one is a support striker, one is a main striker that goes out wide. Both of them are literally two strikers. They are almost the same. The only thing that differs from them is Aguero is a bit smaller, making him faster and more agile, while Aguero is more on the
Forlan.
Forlan is more on the what is it called? Stronger physical side. But essentially they are both a striker.
Yeah.
So it's a twin striker.
Actually, the interesting thing about it is when Aguero would go up, Forlan would often drop back, and they would both interplay with each other in that sense.
They complement a lot each other.
Yeah, and the season that we picked for them to showcase this was the one where they won the UEFA Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League 2009, 2010, where
Both
they beat
goals
They beat Fulham.
in that final. I mean, before that they beat Liverpool.
Yes, with Forlan's
goal. But in that final, both goals came
from Forlan.
Forlan combined with Aguero.
Yeah, Aguero. I remember the first one. Aguero just passed to him and just.
It was,
shot in, man.
was that a pass? Was that a shot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shot pass.
Was it like?
It's an assist, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah.
It's an assist.
But it just like the only thing when I saw that, the immediate thing I thought was instinct.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like the ball's coming.
Yeah.
And it takes like a person like a split second like that to just make the shot.
Yes.
And Forlan was really good at doing that. Like you look at the 2 goals that he scored. Aguero, the second one, Aguero chased the ball down on the side, cut in, passed it straight to Forlan, who was able to rifle like this heavy shot past Mark Schwarzer. You know, that speaks to the volumes of their instinct that they both have.
Forlan literally broke Fulham's heart that day.
Yeah. And you can even tell that even in that final, no matter how good Fulham had been, like the innate talent those 2 front guys had.
Fulham was a very competitive team that time. They were in the game.
They were in that game, yeah.
Literally, these two strikers made the difference.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. It's not like as though Atletico trashed Fulham. Like it was a very close goal game.
Yeah. Another thing, I mean, the great thing about this strike partnership that before we move on to the next one, is that Aguero has gone on to have like a real instinctual striking career, hasn't he? In the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, like it's very unfortunate that they play in an era where Pep is owning everyone, and even before that, even when Aguero first came to Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid was winning the league like two seasons in a row. So it's a very bad timing. I mean,
Falcao. You forgot Falcao.
I mean, Falcao is after
yeah,
that,
but I mean, like that whole striker factory. Yeah. So
I mean, they had Jose Reyes, who's actually technically a forward, but I think he was converted as a left wing from midfield. So
in that final,
In
the UEFA Cup final, they also won the European Super Cup as well. Which was that Atletico team was really impressive.
Yeah. Under Diego Simeone as well.
Wow.
I mean, he's been there quite long.
Simao was there as well.
Yeah, Simao from the left. Left midfield.
Yeah, but the Forlan Aguero partnership will always be something that I remember for being like such a dynamic.
It's just
dynamic. Both guys from South America, both guys
a twin striker partnership. I love twin striker. Like I wish there's more in this day and age.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's what you wish, right?
Yeah.
Well, your next wish is gonna come true because at number 3 is Dazlan's favorite strike partnership.
With my favorite player of all time.
Yeah. And it's also a pet. I also like the strike partnership.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, Liverpool fan. But I like the strike partnership because I think that Daniel Sturridge is quite underrated.
Yeah. So the partnership is Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez.
Yeah.
2013 and 14. That season where they got a heartbreak, where they almost won the league, but unfortunately didn't. So, okay.
What is there to say really about this team that pretty much captured the imagination of England for a while?
Let's not forget that before this, when Fernando Torres left, they were not working with much.
Yeah.
I mean,
they had Andy Carroll. They had
Andy Carroll to replace Torres.
Suarez came in.
I mean, Suarez came in. He's pretty good, but there's still an issue with the main guy.
Yeah.
So they were playing before Suarez came and Sturridge came, they were 100% reliant on one guy, which is Fernando Torres. So they actually bought Suarez to play with him.
Well.
But Gerrard is not the striker. I mean, he did play behind. He's not the main guy.
Where did Gerrard not play?
Yeah. So they were over reliant on freaking Fernando Torres. So they bought Suarez to partner with him because Suarez he's not really a support striker, but he drifts up wide.
Right.
He will complement Torres. Torres. By that time Torres is getting a lot of injuries because of his explosive style. So I can see why Kenny Dalglish bought Suarez, is so that Suarez will be the one doing all the heavy lifting, so that Torres can just focus on scoring.
Right.
And then Torres left. Like a turncoat that he is, and then that's an inside joke for all you Cop Talk fans.
Oh God.
So, and then Torres left. So that really screwed a lot of things up, all the plan. So and then we bought Andy Carroll, and Andy Carroll is. What do we say about Andy Carroll?
Andy Carroll's injury prone now.
Okay, let's
I give him the benefit of the doubt.
even without the injury prone, he is not.
He's not your prototypical movement style striker.
He's like, I don't know. He just shoot the balls from far and just
Yeah,
like
guy scored headers, man.
like target man. He's like a target man.
Yeah, he's a
Do we
target
really
man.
need a target man that time? You know, we need to. We paid Andy Carroll for a fortune anyway, and
Right.
we made a loss on him.
Yeah.
So then we got like half a season after that on a January, we got Daniel Sturridge on a good bargain, which is 13 million, I guess.
Around 15 million of that.
Yeah, which is a very good bargain, and then ended up the next season, 2013-14, perfect.
Perfect season.
Yeah, perfect. Just forget that they didn't win the league, but this partnership, I like it a lot. A 4-4-2 with Raheem Sterling on the wings, with Coutinho also on the left wing, Gerrard and Henderson, sometimes Joe Allen. This is wow.
Yeah, the main problem with that team is we couldn't defend to save our lives.
Yeah, I mean.
But I mean, I want to specifically mention the fact that if you looked at it, right, Suarez is pretty much your robust number 10
yeah,
striker.
yeah,
Meanwhile, you had Daniel Sturridge, and Daniel Sturridge kind of like, I've never seen anything like Daniel Sturridge before this.
I mean, he's a weird guy. You don't know where to point him out. Is he a winger? Is he a striker?
Yeah, like you would tell who was gonna drift, obviously.
Yeah. The thing I like about this, both players are not centrally. They're not really a central player. You know, they
Traditionally not. Yeah.
drift out
You
wide.
can argue that Suarez kind of is, but
He
became more central in Barca than he was at Liverpool.
Yeah. At Liverpool, he was always from the wings, dropping in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's his style. Maybe.
The thing is, it complements Gerrard in the middle.
Yeah, it does.
So yeah, it's not a 4-3-3 as of yet, but it kind of is like that from a 4-4-2 perspective.
Right.
You know, it really does like that. And with them drifting out wide, and then with Gerrard coming forward, let's not forget Coutinho is a powerhouse when it comes from long shots.
Yeah.
Sterling as well, and then it's just perfect. You know.
I really love that team because the front four at that time I thought, oh my god.
Yeah.
I saw it. Sturridge with his speed, and then his ingenuity.
His skills, his touch, everything. He really is like just wow. I remember that one goal where it was supposed to be out, and then he heads the ball back into play and he scores a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that one?
I remember
Stoke?
that. Yeah, against Stoke.
Yeah.
He kept that ball in somehow.
Yeah.
There's a real tenacity about it. He came off the bench for that game.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Can he do it in a cold night?
The thing is about Sturridge, he forces a goal when it's not supposed to be a goal. You know? I don't know anyone else that has been scoring like Sturridge type of goals.
Yeah, but then I sometimes feel like that's why sometimes it kind of like hurts me to watch Sturridge play, because I always feel like he's overextending his legs or something. Like
Yeah, actually, you can see how it really.
you can see there's potential for damage there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, interesting fact. If you look at the stats earlier that we had on the screen for Daniel Sturridge and Suarez, you know what I like when you have a strike partnership?
Yeah.
Majority of Suarez's goal was from the right foot. Majority of Sturridge's goal was from the left foot.
Yes.
That is crazy deadly.
Yeah.
You know, like it's also so what do you call it?
And both players can head.
And they both can hit the ball,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's just like they're so ambidextrous, both of them.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a period of time where Suarez was out due to the ban that he was serving.
Yeah.
And Sturridge was carrying the mantle every game.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. Every game he was scoring, and he just showed that he could carry himself
Yeah.
and be on the same level as Luis Suarez in that season. And I just remember him going into games, and when we needed a goal, we'd get it from the right, then we'd get it from the left, then we'd get it from
Yeah.
a
Let's
header.
keep in mind before this, like Liverpool has not have a good strike partnership since Owen and Emil Heskey.
I would say since Rush and Dalglish.
I mean, in the Premier League era.
Right.
I mean, they have not had a striker partnership that has scored double
How about
digits in the
Fowler
league.
and Owen?
But Fowler and Owen was, Fowler was in the 2000s.
Yeah,
I mean,
Fowler was
but
there.
Fowler at the end of his Liverpool career, first run was not scoring a lot. Let's be honest.
Man, but Fowler,
But okay, the
Fowler's
last
legit though.
Yeah, he's legit. No doubts.
Robbie Fowler's legit.
But let's just keep in mind that the last time Liverpool had a partnership that scored double digits in a league was in 2000-2001 season where Emil Heskey and Michael Owen was playing.
Both England strikers.
After that, they only ever had one striker scoring double digits every season.
Torres.
And yeah, he's alone. He never had a striker partnership that scored double digits as
How
well.
about Robbie Keane, man?
I mean, Robbie Keane half a season. Okay, there was one season where Dirk Kuyt scored
Double digits,
he
yeah.
scored double digits as well as Torres. But other than that, I mean, it's been quite a long time since Liverpool had a legit partnership that score goals.
Yeah, and that's why I think that Daniel Sturridge and Luis Suarez have their special place.
Yeah.
It's a strike duo.
Yes.
And that's what's the positive thing to me about them anyway.
It's I mean, let's just say that if Sturridge actually kept fit for Liverpool, I think he would have kept a lot of players out of the game. He would have been like the main man for England as well.
Right.
Yeah.
He
He actually was the main man in the 2014 World Cup.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
But then England didn't do well in that World Cup,
Yeah,
so
but
they're not going to remember that, obviously.
yeah, I mean, actually he was the main guy. He scored against Italy as well.
Right.
Easily kept them in the game back.
Easily.
Yeah.
So,
The thing about Sturridge is, okay, Suarez scored goals where you'll be like in awe and like so amazing and all that. But like Sturridge will score goals that will make you believe that it's easy, but actually it's very hard. It's like, wow, he made it look so easy. Like, damn. Like Suarez will be scoring goals that you know it's already hard, like it's impossible. But like Sturridge is like, he made it so easy, you know. Even not in his goals, like the way he touches the ball, he dribbles and all that. It's like he made it look like so easy. You know? That's why he's my favorite player of all time.
I mean, it baffled me how he could dribble the ball that way, but at the same time, yeah, I just felt like these two, had they had stayed together a bit longer,
Yes.
maybe they could have done some more things, you know.
Yeah.
But unfortunate.
Sturridge is still quite young at 31, I think.
But his injuries have just derailed him.
Yeah, I mean, he needs a proper legit support guy if he's going to be the main guy.
I think also these injuries and then the players coming up,
Yeah.
he kind of lost momentum there.
He's obviously a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on from number 3, we have to talk about the second strike partnership that impressed us over time. And this only proves one thing. I am completely not biased at all in everything, apparently, because I'm about to give number 2 to Andy Cole and Dwight York.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, they were the main guys in the treble season.
Manchester United's treble winning season under Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yep.
The interesting thing about, I just want to run through some things. 97, 98, right? That was the time they won the treble.
No, 98, 99.
98, 99, 90, the 98 basically.
Yeah, 98, 99.
That time period, right? When they won the treble, they didn't just have. It was the time when Eric Cantona just left.
Yes.
And so you're coming into a situation
prematurely, by the way.
Prematurely,
in his prime. 28, I think.
Yeah.
It's they lost a talisman like that. So continue.
Yeah. So I mean, when they came in, obviously the question was gonna be, who's gonna be the next big guy?
Yeah. Obviously,
there's that guy who's coming up right now, named Van Nistelrooy somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there was a Solskjaer, how you say it, and they had a very old Teddy Sheringham.
Yeah. Which then led to my point.
Yeah.
That United had 4 starting strikers on their team.
Let's keep in mind that Dwight York was the champion, the record signing for United, and it was his first season.
It was his first season,
and he was the most expensive United player.
I forgot where they bought Dwight York from.
From Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
He won the Golden Boot the year before.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And Andy Cole's from Newcastle, right?
Yeah, but
if I'm not mistaken.
I think Andy Cole was safe to say already a veteran. I think he played like 3 years.
But when those two came, when Cantona left, and then you put those two up front, then the question was, what's going to happen now? Like, how is this team going to bring in the goals and all that? And in that 98-99 season, and in the stat that we had, they have about combined how many goals in 51 to 50 games?
I mean, like Dwight York already have like 29 goals, and then Andrew Cole already has like 24. That's so.
If we're talking about dominance in a strike
It's like
partnership.
over 50 goals between them.
They dominated.
Yeah.
They were very dominant, and they won a lot of things. They won the Premier League. You know, they would go on eventually and win the treble.
Yeah,
the
Champions
big treble.
League as well. Yeah, I mean, like in the Champions League, like everyone was scoring like from everywhere. Even like I think Schmeichel scored a goal in the Champions League as well.
The funny thing about the Champions League was that I kind of remember Dwight York and Andy Cole in the Champions League, but I kind of more remember Ryan Giggs and what's the fella's name, Solskjaer and
Paul
Sheringham.
Scholes and Sheringham.
Yeah, but Dwight York and Andy Cole played as if, when they played in the Premier League at least, they played like they were like linked somehow.
Yeah.
Like a psychological unit.
Yeah. Seriously, they are twin striker as well. They play a lot of 4-4-2.
Right. They were playing a lot of 4-4-2.
Yeah.
That Paul Scholes thing made it work for them up front.
Yep. Beckham as well, can't do anything wrong there,
Beckham,
yeah.
right, yeah.
So you have a powerhouse like Beckham and Scholes to support you? Oh, it's crazy.
When you look at guys like York and Cole, and then you need to ask, what makes guys like this tick so well? Is that an Alex Ferguson thing?
Because like Dwight York is from like Birmingham, I mean Aston Villa before this.
Yeah.
And it's his first season, you know?
But like, this is what Ferguson was doing with a lot of players.
Yeah.
He was bringing them from other teams. Like, Cantona was from Leeds.
Yeah.
You know, and
But
so
obviously Leeds were already champions. So he already bought a winning Cantona that's already winning. But okay, like Dwight York was not winning anything at Aston Villa. Like
Right.
literally, yeah.
But I mean, he was still an impressive striker. and
Yeah,
won the
yeah,
Golden
he
Boot.
was, yeah, no doubts he was.
So that makes sense why you would buy a guy
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this.
For a record signing, bro.
Yeah, my only question is, how did you make them both play together
Yeah.
when they're both such like crucial, prolific strikers like this? And one was on 29 goals, the other one was on 24 goals
Yeah.
in an early Premier League era, in which these were quite high numbers back then
I think like
for strikers to have.
I think Andy Cole itself, or Andrew Cole, some people call him Andrew or Andy. Okay, Mr. Cole.
Mr. Cole.
He has ticked with a lot of good strikers. Les Ferdinand, Alan Shearer, obviously at West Ham. Newcastle. And I mean, I think he just has that intelligence where he can click with anyone.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
So they're like football IQ, lah, basically.
Yeah, from Andy Cole's perspective.
Yeah.
And Dwight York, he's just crazy. I mean, obviously he's very talented. He's got the Golden Boot before, and quite a lot of dead balls, huh?
He was quite famous for that as well.
Yeah. In his later career, he played at the midfield, but
those guys
that's
would
another
go on
story.
to meet again, right, in Blackburn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went on to meet, and they won the trophy that they did not win in United, which is the League Cup. So they've won it all. They've won it all together.
That's pretty impressive as a strike partnership.
Yeah, they've won it all. Man.
Really prolific strike partnership.
Yep.
So, number one on our list, and I don't know if there's going to be any surprise here as to who's number one on our list.
So who is number one in our list?
On number one, our duo that impressed us in this era has been Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez.
Oh, okay. Obviously, they're actually part of a trio called MSN, but okay.
I specifically mentioned Messi and Suarez because they've been together long.
Yeah, longer, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And before this last season where he was sold off, they were pretty much technically like undefeated.
Yeah.
In terms of like
I mean, not only that, yeah.
goals and such.
I mean, like Suarez, in his first season, obviously he missed a lot of games in his because of his World Cup incident biting Chiellini, right?
Yeah.
When he came in, it looks like as though he's not a new signing. He looked like he's been playing there for like 10 years.
He did.
Yeah.
I think Suarez has had this instant impact wherever he's gone.
Instant impact, yeah.
He knows how to score. You know, like that's the best thing I can say.
And
about
they
him.
won the treble in his first season.
They did. And he's a really impressive guy.
Beating Juventus of all teams. Yeah? It's a very hard team to beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when this team plays, they're pretty much, these two have this kind of relentless, it's like a tsunami coming at you, you know. And I remember in 2015, 2016, during that kind of era, And even before that, they were already scoring about 200 plus goals together.
Yep.
396 goals. They were averaging about 160 assists. And they were pretty much when they played throughout their tenure as Barcelona players, they were scoring the high hundreds every season.
Yeah. There was at one point that Suarez, I think in his first season, he outscored Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty unheard of,
But that was when Suarez, I think, took more of a number 9 approach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Messi changed his game when Suarez came.
Yeah.
He took more liberty to be dropping in deep a lot.
Yeah, because he had someone to take the defenders away from the box. It gave him a lot of freedom to move inside.
And I think when Suarez is not playing, that's when Messi is not having issues, but he's very annoyed where he has to be the main guy.
Yeah, there's a lot asked of him when he's
alone. Yeah.
Even when they were MSN, it was 100 plus goals.
Yeah.
100 plus goals.
Yep.
2013, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. These every single season, they were averaging in the hundreds.
Yeah.
And you can see on this picture here, they've got so many different combinations. When the Neymar factor came in.
Yes.
Because when the Neymar factor came in, the team was even more prolific. And you would just think that they were the best trio you've ever seen. And it just goes to stand, Luis Suarez and Messi, even after Neymar left, was also still the most dangerous duos in football.
Yep.
It's really hard for me to pick a season that really amplifies them. But I would say 2015, 2016, when Messi and Suarez combined for 100 goals. And Neymar would make up the rest of that goal tally.
Yeah.
Two guys combined for 100 goals in all games. That's madness.
Yep.
That's crazy. That is a lot of goals.
Yeah, that's crazy enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The Messi Suarez combination, for me, is the best partnership that I've seen.
Okay, yeah, I don't disagree with you.
Any honorable mentions?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer.
Yeah, I could not mention them.
Yeah, I think that's a very good twin partnerships type striker.
I felt like the Suarez Sturridge one kind of beat that.
Yeah, of course.
I was gonna put them in there, but the Suarez Sturridge one.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, because statistically they were better anyway as well.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't make it. But they're a good shout.
Yeah.
Ronaldo and Benzema for me, Grafite and Zeko for me. These three I regret that couldn't put them in the list.
I mean, Carlos Tevez and Rooney.
That is a very interesting shout.
I mean, statistically they are not scoring Messi type of goals, but they did win the Champions League together. Yeah.
They did.
Yep. So yeah.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching.
Yep.
Please tell us what you think. Do you have another strike duo partnership that you want to talk about? I mean, if you're going to bring up Puskas and Alfredo Di Stefano, please have mercy on us. I didn't get to watch
of recent times, just modern
preferably.
Times. Yep.
Do you think there's there's two guys we missed out on here?
Yep.
Is there someone you'd like to say? Please comment down below. Thank you. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you on the flip side, guys.
See you.